Serious warning from heaven. A woman who lost her life is sending a news about my dear child. If you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. And it has been sent through the divine realm with great urgency and precision. Heaven does not speak without a reason. And Archangel Michael himself has been moved to speak because something unseen has been unfolding around you. A woman who lost her life recently has sent a spiritual news, a message of warning and protection at the same time. She has seen something in the unseen realm, a harm being planned by someone near you, a neighbor whose smile hides a different intent. But God says you are not to fear because He is with you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe under His mighty hand. But you must listen and trust Him completely. Now there are moments in life when heaven breaks through human silence to speak directly to a chosen one. And today is that sacred moment for you. This woman's spirit was permitted to speak from the other side because her purpose was not complete until she could deliver this message to you. She saw your name, your face, and she wept because she remembered how kind you were, how your heart never wished evil on anyone. From where she now stands, she can see the full truth. She can see the intentions that were hidden from your eyes. And what she saw made the heavens stir. Your neighbor, the one who has recently been observing you quietly, carries something within their spirit that is not light. They have allowed bitterness, jealousy, and resentment to grow. And that darkness has now started to whisper harm. But God has already intervened. Archangel Michael says he has drawn a protective circle around you. He stood by your window last night, sword of fire in his right hand, shield of faith in his left. He says he will not allow any harm to reach your body, your spirit, or your home. You may feel moments of unease, sudden chills, or moments of silence that feel heavy. Those are moments when heaven is near, shifting the unseen energy around you. Michael says, you must not fear those signs. They are proof that heaven is active. This woman from the other side wants you to know that she saw your kindness when she was still alive. Maybe in a small way, a gesture, a word, or a moment of compassion you didn't even remember. That moment marked your soul in the book of heaven. And that is why she was permitted to speak on your behalf. Now God says that because of that act of love, your name has been written in the register of the protected ones. No curse, no plan, and no harm can succeed against you because divine law is already working in your favor. God says the message is serious but not meant to make you afraid. It is meant to awaken you, to remind you that the spiritual world is always aware of what human eyes cannot see. There has been conversation in the invisible realm concerning you, and not all of them were pure. The neighbor mentioned has been in touch with certain energies that whisper deceit and harm. But what they don't know is that the very plan they thought was hidden has already been exposed to heaven's counsel. The woman who died saw it. She carried that news upward. And when she spoke it before God, heaven moved. Michael was sent instantly. You may notice things shifting now. Small miracles in ordinary places. Perhaps a door that was once jammed suddenly opens easily, or a lost item reappears unexpectedly. These are signs of divine rearrangement. God says you are being repositioned spiritually to stand in a place of victory. This is not a time to argue with anyone, not even to confront your neighbor. You don't need to fight this battle physically, for this battle is spiritual. You only need to trust, pray, and speak peace. When you pray tonight, Michael will be standing by your side. He will listen to your words and amplify them before the throne of God. Every time you say, "Lord, I trust you," light expands in your home. God says that He is already neutralizing every harmful energy. There will be a moment soon when your neighbor will act strangely, perhaps more distant or overly kind. Do not be confused by their behavior. What you are seeing will be the inner struggle between the dark influence they allowed and the divine light now surrounding you. They will begin to feel that their plans are crumbling. They will lose their power when they face your peace. You are not to react in fear or anger. Smile quietly, because you will know that heaven has taken over. Archangel Michael says that sometimes spiritual warfare looks like everyday confusion, small misunderstandings, or sudden anxiety. These are attempts to distract you, to pull your heart into fear, but you must not fall into that trap. The woman's message is a call for your awareness, not for panic. It is heaven's way of saying, "We are watching over you and we are handling this." You might have noticed dreams lately, unfamiliar faces or scenes near your home. You might have even woken up at night with a sense that someone was near. That is because your spiritual sensitivity has been rising. God is tuning your soul to receive divine frequencies. Do not ignore those dreams. They are warnings and reassurances mixed together. The woman who sent this message has been appearing in your dreams as a shadow or a whisper. She stands beside Michael dressed in light, carrying the scent of heaven. She says, "You helped me once without knowing. Now I will help you fully, knowing who you are." God says that your name is written in His heart. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Even the plots that began in silence are already dissolving. He says He has placed confusion in the camp of those who discussed harm against you. Every meeting they plan will fall apart. Every conversation they attempt will lead to misunderstanding among themselves. The ones who gather to speak against you will soon be speaking against each other. The woman's spirit will be there too, disrupting their whispers, turning every evil word back to dust. Heaven says you must light a small candle tonight, not for fear, but as a symbol of your trust. As that flame burns, imagine it as your connection with God's light. Speak softly and say, "Lord, I am yours. Protect me." That single sentence will be enough to activate Michael's command. When the candle burns, the energy of your home will shift. You may feel warmth, peace, or even tears. But those tears will be cleansing ones. Archangel Michael says he will send a sign before the week ends. It may come as a sudden phone call, an unexpected visitor, or a small message that seems ordinary but carries a strange peace. That will be confirmation that the situation has turned in your favor. God says that the woman who sent this warning will then return to rest, her mission complete. You will not hear from her again, but you will feel gratitude whenever you remember her. That feeling will be her way of saying, I made it right. God says He will restore your confidence, your sleep, your peace, and your joy. You have been feeling watched, maybe even unsafe, but that feeling will lift. You will suddenly feel calm again, as though a heavy presence has left your space. That will be because the dark plan was cancelled completely. Heaven will replace your fear with divine serenity. God says this message is not coincidence. You were chosen to receive it at this exact moment because your timeline was about to cross something you were not meant to endure. Heaven intercepted that path. You were moved on to a safer route without even realizing it. You will soon look back and say, I don't know how I escaped that. And that will be your testimony of divine protection. The woman who sent the message will be remembered by heaven with honor because she obeyed God's voice. You too are being called to obey now through faith, prayer, and forgiveness. Do not let bitterness grow, even against those who plotted against you. When you forgive, the chain breaks completely. Your neighbor's heart will begin to soften and the dark influence will retreat. God will deal with them in His mercy and justice. Michael says, tell them to rest. I have already handled it. So rest tonight knowing you are surrounded by unseen warriors. You are safe. The harm that was spoken has been reversed. Heaven has turned the curse into a blessing. God says to keep praying daily. Speak to Him in your own words. Say, Lord, I trust you with everything. Each time you say it, light expands around you. That light will reach your neighbor's house. 2. Slowly changing the energy there until peace returns to your street. God will bless your sleep, He will bless your mornings. He will bless your footsteps. So that everywhere you go, divine favor will accompany you. What was meant for your harm will now become a reason for your elevation. Watch as unexpected good news begins to arrive. What you thought was a warning will soon turn into a miracle story. You are safe. You are protected. Heaven has spoken and Michael stands guard. Trust God, pray and walk in peace. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are loved, watched over, and divinely shielded. God says, this message is not by chance, not by coincidence, but a divine call from the heavens to your soul. I, the Lord your God, speak to you through this very moment because your spirit is trembling at the edge of something unseen. Archangel Michael stands beside you, his sword of light shimmering in the unseen realms, for this is a serious hour. You are being watched over, protected, and chosen to receive what many have ignored. Listen carefully, for heaven rarely speaks twice when the hour is this close. A woman who once lived among you, who breathed the same air and carried pain silently in her heart, is now in the realm of light. She has been weeping before my throne, asking me to deliver you from what is about to unfold. She sees what your human eyes cannot see. The secret that your neighbor holds. The harm being prepared in silence. The envy that stirs behind closed curtains. This woman is not a stranger to you. Her soul once crossed paths with yours, and she left this world carrying an unspoken love and concern for you. She could not rest until her spirit found a way to send you this message. Do not fear. You are safe in my presence. But you must understand that spiritual warfare is real. The darkness hides behind familiar faces, and sometimes the people closest to you are used as instruments of confusion and jealousy. Your neighbor who appears kind on the surface is carrying energy of resentment and suspicion. Heaven has seen conversations whispered in the shadows where your name has been mentioned with bitterness. But I, the Lord, am your defender. Before any harm can touch you, my angels have already surrounded your home. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this message. This is your divine shield. He stands in full armor at the east of your dwelling. And Raphael, the healer, stands at your door to restore your peace. The woman who lost her life, she keeps returning in the wind, in the sudden chills you sometimes feel, in the soft whisper when you pray. That is not your imagination. She is the messenger pleading for you to pray more deeply, to light a candle, to speak your truth aloud so heaven can hear you clearly. God says, I have watched you walking through loneliness, feeling misunderstood. Doubting why so many strange events have happened lately. You have been sensing something. Your intuition has been warning you. Do not dismiss it. That is your spirit responding to the spiritual vibration around you. When you felt sudden heaviness or when your heart raced without reason that was not random, it was the spiritual signal of what this woman from heaven tried to show you. Your neighbor has been carrying thoughts of envy, unable to stand your peace and light. But fear not, for even the plots formed in silence will crumble when my light shines upon them. Tonight, as you read this, my presence is entering your atmosphere. Every corner of your home is being filled with divine fire. You may feel warmth, tingling, or even a sense of sudden calm. That is not just emotion. That is divine contact. Archangel Michael says, heaven has dispatched protection orders. No weapon formed against you will prosper. You are marked with divine favor. The woman who lost her life wants you to know she regrets not telling you what she felt when she was alive. She saw goodness in you that others ignored. She saw your hidden tears, your quiet prayers when no one was watching. Her death was sudden. And in her final moments, she prayed for forgiveness. Her soul was carried by angels. And now from the heavenly realm, she serves as a watcher for your safety. You may have felt her presence around midnight. A faint scent of flowers, a dream where she appeared but didn't speak. That was her sign. She has seen the shadow hovering near your path and rushed to heaven to plead for your protection. I, the Lord, have heard her. Therefore, this message is your confirmation. You are not alone. The same hand that raised Lazarus from the grave is upon your life. What others plan for evil will reverse before it reaches you. The neighbor who hides behind false smiles will soon be revealed. But not by your hand, by divine timing. Heaven will expose. Heaven will correct. Heaven will remove. Your only task is to stay calm, keep faith, and pray. Archangel Michael says, I command the fear in your heart to dissolve. You are not a victim. You are chosen. Every curse spoken over you is being returned to its source as light. Not revenge, but correction. For God does not delight in punishment, but in awakening. Soon your neighbor will face a series of divine lessons that will cause repentance. They will not understand why things around them begin to fail, but it is the universe aligning justice. You may see strange coincidences, flickering lights, animals behaving oddly, unexpected dreams. Do not panic. These are not signs of fear, but signs of transition. The spiritual veil between heaven and earth is thin tonight, and messages are traveling faster. The woman who lost her life will continue to send gentle signals to assure you that your prayers are being heard. Every time you call upon the name of God, she rejoices in the heavens because her purpose of protection is fulfilled. I, your God, remind you, faith is your greatest weapon. Do not respond to fear with fear. Instead, respond with light. Pray not against your neighbor, but for their transformation. Speak my name over your home. God is my protector. God is my light. No harm shall dwell in my space. Every time you speak it, a wall of fire strengthens around you. Angels record your words and seal them, as protection decrees. Archangel Michael whispers, the hour of exposure is near. The truth will come out in ways you least expect. A conversation, a slip of the tongue, a sudden visit from someone you haven't seen in months. All will play a part in revealing what has been hidden. Do not be anxious. Heaven never exposes to shame the innocent, only to deliver them. You may have noticed how your energy changes when that neighbor is near. Your body senses what your eyes cannot see. That uneasiness is a signal. Do not entertain gossip. Do not share your inner plans and do not open your doors to unnecessary visits. Keep your environment spiritually clean. Play music that uplifts, light incense if you wish, and pray before sleeping. The woman who lost her life is asking you to cleanse your doorway with water and faith, not superstition, but a spiritual act of purity. God says, I will fight your unseen battles. While you sleep, angels will work on your behalf. Every plan formed against your peace will collapse before sunrise. You will wake up lighter, freer, more protected than before. This is not a coincidence that you are reading this now. This is your divine appointment. You have wondered why you have been feeling emotional lately. Sometimes crying without knowing why. That's your soul releasing burdens it carried for too long. The divine realm is purging fear from your spirit. You are being prepared for a new chapter where no harm can follow you. The woman who lost her life keeps saying, "Tell them to forgive," because forgiveness breaks curses faster than anger ever can. Forgive the neighbor. Not for their sake, but for your peace. When you forgive, you disconnect from the vibration of attack. You rise higher and no dark intention can reach you. God says, "I will replace your tears with revelation." Soon you will understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. I was not punishing you. I was protecting you. There were meetings, conversations, and plans that I disrupted because they were not for your good. Every delay you experienced was a divine detour away from danger. Archangel Michael is now surrounding you with a shield of sapphire light. That light will remain with you for the next 7 days as long as you continue to pray and trust. You may even sense a presence near your right shoulder. That is not imagination. That is protection. Heaven records every prayer you whisper. The woman who lost her life is rejoicing because she sees your spiritual awakening. She knows her mission is being completed as you open your heart to divine truth. She wants you to know she is finally at peace and she will continue to guide you from heaven. Not to frighten you but to protect you. She has chosen to serve as your guardian messenger until your spirit feels completely safe again. God says the harm that was planned will be reversed into a blessing. What was meant to disturb your peace will become the reason you rise higher. People who doubted you will soon be astonished when they see your calmness during storms. Because I am the one calming the winds around you. When you pray tonight, speak this truth aloud. I am surrounded by God's protection. I fear nothing because heaven stands with me. Every secret plan against me is already defeated. Say it with faith and watch peace settle in your heart. You may dream of the woman again. Do not be afraid. Her visits are divine. She will smile. She will point to light, and that will be your sign that heaven has taken control. You might also feel guided to clean your space or move certain things. That is spiritual alignment. Follow your intuition. It is my voice guiding you through stillness. Archangel Michael says this is your turning point. After this night, a shift begins. The energy of confusion will clear. The heaviness will lift. You will notice small miracles, phone calls you've waited for, unexpected kindness, opportunities appearing out of nowhere. That is how heaven rewards obedience. When you listen to divine messages, blessings follow. Do not fear the exposure of truth. It is not to embarrass you, but to elevate you. The neighbor's actions will return to them as lessons, and soon you will witness them softening, apologizing, or withdrawing completely. Either way, justice will come through peace. The woman who lost her life says she will send a sign through nature, perhaps a bird resting near your window or a feather appearing unexpectedly or a sudden calm breeze. When you see it, whisper a prayer of thanks. It will mean the danger has passed. God says, your life is under divine watch. I have assigned my angels permanently around you. So sleep without fear. Walk without doubt. Even when you feel alone, you are not. Heaven stands guard. Archangel Michael bows before the throne and says, mission secured. He has marked your home, your path, and your heart with heavenly fire. Nothing that carries malice can enter. You are covered. You are chosen. You are safe. If you believe me, type Amen. God says this is a sacred hour. A heavenly alert has been released for you. And it is not by accident that you are reading this now. Heaven is moving, angels are gathering. And Archangel Michael himself stands beside you with his sword drawn in light. The message that has reached you tonight is urgent, divine, and meant only for your heart. A woman who once lived among the living, who has now crossed into eternal light, has been permitted by God to deliver a message. Her voice echoes through the realm of spirit to warn you and to save you. Do not be afraid. You are protected. You are chosen. And you are being prepared for a powerful intervention that will turn every harm meant against you into divine justice. Archangel Michael says that what has been hidden is being revealed. He says a neighbor, someone you have seen with your own eyes but never suspected deeply, has been whispering dark things against you. This person hides behind smiles, behind casual greetings, but their heart has been twisted by envy. They could not stand to see your peace, your light, and your quiet grace that draws blessings. Their plan is not ordinary. It has been forming slowly like a shadow waiting for nightfall. But heaven saw it before it could manifest. The woman who lost her life saw it, too. Her soul could not rest knowing you were in danger. So she pleaded before the throne of God to be allowed to warn you. And God in His mercy allowed her spirit to deliver this message through the angelic realm, through Michael, through this very moment that now reaches your heart. She says she knew of your kindness when she was alive. She saw how your compassion touched people silently, how you forgave easily even when you were wronged, and how your light helped many without asking for anything in return. That same light has stirred the jealousy of your neighbor. But she says, do not fear. The harm they intended will never touch you because God has placed an invisible shield around your home. She saw a golden fire descending around your walls at dawn. It was the fire of divine protection. Even the whispers of harm dissolve when they touch that light. Archangel Michael says this message is not only a warning but a sign. You have been chosen to witness a divine reversal, the kind that shakes the unseen world. 4 months. Heaven has been watching movements around you. Certain forces, human and unseen, thought they could manipulate your destiny. They tried to twist words, create misunderstandings, and isolate you in silent emotional warfare. But God saw everything. Every hidden plot, every false smile, every attempt to plant fear in your spirit, all of it has been recorded in the scrolls of heaven. And now the time of reversal has come. You will begin to notice signs in the coming days. The first will be silence, a strange calm that enters your space like a heavy peace. Then without reason, people who doubted you will begin to speak well of you again. Things that were delayed will start to move. The confusion that surrounded your life will break like mist before sunrise. Michael says this silence is not emptiness. It is protection. Heaven quiets the noise around you so that divine justice can move freely. The one who wished harm upon you will begin to feel the weight of what they intended. Not as punishment but as awakening. Their own conscience will turn against them. The woman who lost her life says she saw how your neighbor moved in secrecy. She saw nights when envy guided their thoughts. She saw how they wanted to weaken you through fear or gossip. But she also saw how your prayers built walls they could not cross. Every time you prayed, "God, keep me safe," an angel took position at another corner of your home. Every night you felt uneasy but didn't know why. That was heaven urging you to pray to strengthen your spiritual fortress. You listened, and because of that, disaster was turned away multiple times without your knowing. God says this is not just about one person but about a lesson of faith. You are being tested not to break you but to show the world that no weapon formed against a child of God can prosper. He says the harm intended for you has been redirected. It will return not as pain but as breakthrough. Those who planned against you will watch as the very blessings they tried to block pour down upon you. Archangel Michael says, "Do not confront. Do not fear. Do not retaliate. Your strength is silence. Your weapon is prayer. Your victory is peace. Heaven is already fighting for you." Michael stands before your door, his wings casting light across your threshold. No evil can step beyond that line. Every whisper against you is now being turned into a testimony of your endurance and faith. You will soon hear something about your neighbor, something that reveals what they were hiding. Do not be shocked. It will not be your doing. It will be divine exposure. This revelation will confirm that the warning was real. When it happens, stand still and give thanks to God. The woman who came from the other side will finally rest. Then her mission will be complete. Her love for you was her final earthly act, and heaven will reward her soul for it. God says you are not alone. He says the darkness you feel at night is only the shadow of your own transformation. You are stepping into a new phase, one of awakening, strength, and divine protection that no one can undo. The pain you once carried is being transmuted into light. Every tear you shed has watered the soil of your blessings. And now what was buried deep in your life will rise again as new life, new opportunities, and new love. Archangel Michael urges you to prepare your heart. Something good will follow this message, an unexpected blessing. A person of truth and kindness will soon appear, sent to remind you that heaven rewards faith. This person will bring comfort, maybe even a message that completes what you read today. You will feel warmth in their words and you will know it's divine confirmation. The woman who speaks from beyond wants you to know this too. She says, do not look back. She says that every time you revisit pain or anger, you reopen a wound that heaven already healed. Let go. The past cannot harm you anymore. She says that the harm meant for you has already been consumed by God's light. What is coming now is peace. God says, I am with you. He says, when they whispered, I heard. When they planned, I saw. When you cried, I stood beside you. When you prayed, I answered in silence. Every silent hour of worry you endured is now turning into the sound of divine laughter. Angels are rejoicing because one of God's children has passed through fire and not been burned. Michael says, mark these words. The one who tried to bring harm will soon seek forgiveness. Whether you accept it or not, that is your choice. But know that their repentance will be real. For when heaven reveals truth, every falsehood crumbles. You may feel a wave of emotion reading this, that is the confirmation of its truth. The spirit of peace touching your heart right now is the sign that God is near. You are being wrapped in light right in this very moment. The energy around you is shifting. The fear that once sat heavy on your chest is being lifted away. You are safe. You are guarded. You are loved. The woman from heaven adds a final whisper. Do not forget me. Pray for me sometimes. For love does not end with death. It transforms. She thanks you for reading her warning, for listening when so many ignore signs. She says, your obedience to spiritual truth has opened a path of miracles that will soon unfold around you. You will notice divine timing, unexpected events aligning perfectly, messages appearing just when you need them, people showing up as if sent by unseen hands. This is not coincidence. It is orchestration. God says, trust me now more than ever. He says, I did not bring you this far to abandon you. What they meant for harm, I am using for glory. The same neighbor who thought they could touch you will soon see the power of protection that covers those who walk in faith. Tonight, before you sleep, light a candle or simply whisper a prayer. Say, God, I thank you for the unseen protection. I thank you for the Spirit who came in love. I thank you for Archangel Michael who guards my steps, and I surrender my fear to you. When you say this, heaven will record your faith as a seal of safety. In the next few days, you might feel strange energy shifts, moments of fatigue, vivid dreams, or bursts of peace. These are signs of spiritual adjustment. The angels are cleansing your atmosphere, removing residue from past fear, and replacing it with divine serenity. Do not resist it. Rest. Allow the process. Archangel Michael says, the war around you is over. The peace you prayed for is now your reality. You will notice that people who caused chaos will begin to fade out of your life. They will either move away or simply stop engaging. It is not loss. It is protection. Let them go. The light around your home will strengthen. Sometimes you might see flickers, hear soft movements, or feel warmth near you. Those are angels on duty. They are not to frighten you but to reassure you that divine presence surrounds you constantly. The harm that was meant for you has already returned to its sender as realization and remorse. That person will learn their lesson and through it they may change. Pray for their healing, for that is what sets you free completely. When you forgive, heaven rewards you double. God says, be still. Now the storm has passed. He says, my light shines through your life and nothing can darken what I have chosen to illuminate. So breathe. Smile. Let go of fear. The woman from heaven is smiling now, she says, mission accomplished. And Archangel Michael lowers his sword, its flame softening into light that covers your soul. You are safe. You are free. You are divinely guarded. And as God promises, no harm will ever touch you again. You just have to trust Him and pray. God says, this message reaches you at a time when heaven is watching closely over your life. You might not even realize.